Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori Chicalone and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Thank you so much for those of you who've watched my last video and you left such wonderful comments. They touched my heart. They were so inspiring to me. I'm sure we're all really thinking like, is this woman nuts? Probably. But I figured if the projects are at least started and I get some stitching done on them, eventually I'll get them done. And that's my reasoning behind them. Plus, you see such a beautiful pattern and you want to start it, so why not? So thank you for watching and leaving comments. I really appreciated them. So today is Friday, November 20th. This is my 63rd Flosstube video. Thank you for all the people who've been with me from the very beginning, and thank you for any new subscribers who've just found me. If this is the first video you're watching, I think you should go and watch the one prior to this one. It has all my plans for 2021, and which I start in December next month, and I'm really excited about doing that. I'll have 4 new starts to share with you. Okay, very little family update in that we did get together this past Sunday and celebrated James and Amy's first wedding anniversary. Her parents and sister joined us, so we were just 10 people, and I had my dining room table stretched out to the fullest, and then another table also spread out. So we were able to distance each other, sit apart from each other, but yet be near each other and enjoy the festivities of the dinner. And my husband made James and Amy a cannoli cake. That's what we asked them, what would you like? Sal always usually makes cheesecakes in all different flavors. He tries different things, and James said he wanted a cannoli cake. So he looked up some recipes and just changed things up, and he did what he wanted to do, and it was a big hit, I gotta tell you. Anyway, I guess that's it. Caleb, I had him Wednesday and Thursday this week. Today he had to go to the doctor's for his, I guess, it's not a yearly physical because they go every couple of months when they're little like that, but he did get his flu shot and they drew blood. I don't ever remember doctors drawing blood when my boys were little. I mean, granted, it's eons ago, but yeah, poor thing. They took blood from him. Anyway, he's a trooper. He's starting to take his first steps, so it's exciting. My car is in the shop. That's depressing. I hate when something goes wrong with the car because you feel like you're stranded. You feel lost. I know I do. It gives me anxiety. It's the little things in life that give me anxiety, plus the big things. I try to keep cool. I try not to show it, but it's in the shop. Hopefully they'll figure out what was wrong with it, and it'll be ready at the end of the day. Fingers crossed. Okay, some finishes. Actually, I just want to show you a little bit of happy mail that I received. This is from my friend Kathy to Dye House. She cut some toppers for strawberries, and I'm really anxious to put this on one. I have one in the process. I had stitched it a while ago and not realizing I said, oh, this is the perfect color for it. I love it. And I stitched the motif, and then when you had to put the words on, I realized it had to be stitched on like an even weave or a linen, where we were doing it over 2 strands because there was 1/1 stitching, and I was doing it on an Aida. So I thought I'd just leave first I was going to chart the whole thing, and then my strawberry would be like a monster size. But I decided to just probably leave the words out and finish it and then try it again. That's the plan. So thank you so much, Kathy. I am going to be using those to finish my strawberry. I did start and finish this. It's called 6 Little Cardinals, and it's Little House Needleworks, and I left out the stitched snowflakes and the words 6 little cardinals, and instead I put in a little birdhouse and a charm, and I made it a little finish, and this will be for Michael and Rebecca this year. And thanks to my friend Barbara, who shared her 2020 pins with me, I put that on the back of this pillow, and it keeps flipping over as I show it to you. But I put a button and the charm for 2020. Oops, let's see. There you go. I thought it would be too much if I put that in the front as well. But, so I have Caleb's ornament, and then for Michael and Rebecca. So then James and Amy this year, I usually stitch them an ornament. They put up a Christmas tree. And this time I made it a menorah. And this was Works by ABC, Menorah Duo. And I stitched this one. And instead of the beads, I used a Krynic for the flame of the candles. So it was double strand stitching and single strand that gave the effect of that one. And then on the back, I have the charm and a navy blue button, which is kind of hard to see behind there, but it's there in that fabric. And I thought it came out really pretty. And then excuse me while I reach over and put this back here. I've been working on this. I showed this before. It's a band sampler. It's also Works by ABC in 1604. And these were the colors that Arlene chose, which is like a purple, I believe, and a green. And I decided, I found this banding at Needleworkers, and I decided to do it like a Christmas piece. So I had finished the bottom V, and I showed it, but this time I also stitched down the top border. I always allow extra, and I didn't know how I was going to finish it, but I finally stitched it down, and basically I didn't stitch it in here. I didn't want to show any thread, so I just stitched it down at the ends, and I made sure that the banding didn't go into the white of the fabric so that it would show. And originally I was going to put a dowel in here, which I am going to put a dowel in here, but I had 2 spools that fit in here, and then I was going to maybe put some fabric on the spool instead of thread, and then put the ribbon. But I decided I'm not doing that. I think I'm going to make this shorter, have my husband cut it for me, and then just have a ribbon here, and then maybe a tassel down here or a charm of some sort, so that I can get it done and hung for this Christmas. Okay, that's my finishes. I'm going to show you my haul. Haul now, and then we'll go into whips. The first one is Flea Market Souvenir by Blackbird Design. And I believe they did it on 3 fabrics and then stitched them together. But I'm not going to do that when I do this. I haven't decided if I'm going to do them individually and make them as pillows or do it as one. I haven't decided on that, but I figured if I have the pattern, I could always think about how I'm going to do it. And then I picked up, that was at Needleworkers, and this was also at Needleworkers, Casting a Spell by Blackbird Design. And I looked in here to see what fabric it was stitched on, and it was stitched on a 30 count. So 28, 30, it might be kind of similar. I might be able to stitch on it. I might give it a shot. I don't know if I'll look for the box at Hobby Lobby. I was thinking of maybe little pillows. That would be really cute too. So I haven't decided on that, but I have it for when I do decide to start it. And the final one I got at 123 Stitch, and it's Blackbirds, and it's called Blackbird, and it's from the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour. And since I am a Beatle fan, I thought I'd try to do as many as I can. And in my last video, I showed you Strawberry Fields that I'll be starting. I think that was in January or February. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But yes. And then I purchased a lot of threads that I needed, mostly for the projects that were kitted up for next year. That's basically what my purchases is going to be mostly. I'll get some patterns here and there of what I'd like to do in the future, but I think as far as big purchases is going to be the threads that I'm going to need to complete these projects. Because a lot of times when people are stitching on 40 count and they're stitching over one thread, that's less thread you're using, and I'm very envious of people who can do that. But oh well, 28 count or 8s for me. I purchased this at Target. I always hear people talk about, I always hear about people talking about when you first walk in Target and they find these bargain pieces that they can use. I've never been really lucky, and I think it's they must hear it on a Flosstube and run to my Target and buy it all before I get there, because this is the first piece that I was able to think about saying, oh, I probably could do something with this. And this snow around the window, I think this would be really nice for a Christmas piece with a magnet and probably some kind of foliage and bows up there. So I was really happy to find this, and it was $3. And then I found this frame. I'll show you the back. It has the clip and everything. It's $3 as well. And I thought that would be a nice piece to mount something even for Christmas. Red, how awesome. And they only had one, otherwise I would have purchased two, because I really liked it. And both those items were $3. So I think that was really good. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. The only thing I'm going to mention again about my prior video is some people asked me how I was going to make progress on those whips when they become those patterns that become whips. I'm not going to be stitching on them every single month because I do a 2-day rotation, and most months are 30 days. So you figure I'm going to touch 15 of the whips. So I'll probably work it out seasonally. Yeah, that came out good. Like for instance, a Christmas stocking, I would probably start stitching now, and I'll stitch maybe through February. And then I might take a break and then pick it up maybe in September, October to try and get it finished for Christmas. I'll see how my progress goes on it, and if maybe I need to, let me show it to you, since it's one of the pieces that what's this? Oh, that's the sound. This is the piece that I'm speaking about. I'm hoping to get it done by next Christmas. And that's Joan Elliott's Joyful Snowman Stocking. And the reason I'm always hesitant to work on this is because after I finish stitching it, I have to finish it. And it kind of gives me a little bit of craziness anxiety, because I want to be able to not make a mistake and maybe destroy it. I don't know. I guess that can be done. So this is where it is now. And what I've stitched in this session was this blue and checkered section here. Then I came down and did all the white. So I think in the next go round, I'll come down with the green ribbon, and there's a star at the bottom. And then maybe the star on the other side here, and then his shoes. Now, granted, I probably cannot do it in 2 days, but I mean, that's how I'm aiming of getting it done before I go into the packages. So like I said, I will probably stitch this through February, 2 days, and then maybe put it away until September. Reevaluate how many days I might have to put into it to finish it, and then try and work it so that I can finish it maybe by November, and then fully finish it after that. The next piece I worked on, and that's on a 28 count white Lugana. The next piece I worked on was the Red Rooster Inn, my friend Alva gave me this pattern, and that's Little House Needleworks. And I said I was not doing the bottom alphabet. So what I decided to do is to bring up the border. I kind of like this board now. I finally found one that works. I guess that was large enough. So here's my red rooster in. And what I have to finish is there's a year that goes here and the sun, and then this bottom border with the two keys. I guess they're keys or rivets. Rivets, maybe. There's rivets on the bottom, and that's the pattern. So that bottom border is coming up with the rivets, and then the year. And I was thinking of maybe, let's see, the year on this is 1811. I was possibly thinking of stitching the year we got married. I don't know if there's a number in there. I was going to say a number alphabet, but like the numbers 1, 0 through 9, that you can change it to make it your own numbers. It's not that difficult, I guess, to chart some numbers, but if it's done for me, it's a lot easier to figure out. This is going to be my 3-year project, and this is Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Samplers, and I started page 7. And this is done on a 28 count white Lugana. Red Rooster Inn was done on a 28 count ivory Lugana. Let's see, where's the top? Okay, here's the top. So page 7 started right about here, and I came down and went into that section for page 7. And I keep hemming and hawing because there is a year on this pattern of 2018. Let me point it out to you right there. And I'm thinking of putting 2022 because this is one project that I will put in 2 days of stitching every month. There's no seasonal for this. This is something that I do want to get done, and I'm thinking if I did the first 6 pages in a year, that maybe I can do the next 6 pages in 2021, and then I think there's 15 pages, so that would be 12, and then I'd only have 3 pages left, so I should have it finished in 2022. So it's scary because it's a commitment, but it's something I really want to get accomplished. This one's Plum Street Samplers, Peace, Love, and Purpose. I'm just looking. Oh, this is on 28 count Rock Quarry Lugana. And this is all I'm stitching on this. I am not going to be stitching the bottom. I'm going to leave it as such, and I'm going to leave it as that. And this will be a patriotic piece that I'll put out, and I have time to finish it, but that's it. So I'm not doing the tulips nor the words. And I'm happy with it just the way it is. Okay. The next piece is Haunted Mansion. I'm trying to think where was I that I worked on it last, but I think I showed rooms 1 and 2, the last time I met with you, I think I showed you these two done. So I completed this one and I started on this one. And this is on a 28 count Lugana. Needleworkers dyed this for me. They called it Haunted. And this is the fabric that I went back to Needleworkers so that he can see it, because he said he did it especially for me for this piece. And somebody asked him that they wanted the same thing that I had. So I went there and they took a photo of it, and they were going to replicate it for her. So that's my progress on the Haunted Mansion. So I will probably stitch on this. Well, I stitched on it in November. So will I do it in December? I haven't decided. I think I decided, but I don't remember because I wrote it down. Otherwise, that would be one that I would probably put aside. So if I have room for it, I might get one more month in it. But I know I'm not going to get it finished, so I'll probably pick it up sometime, maybe in the summer, and get some more stitching done on it. This is Lantern Lane by Little House Needleworks. And the last time you saw it, I had that much done, and the start of maybe that window. So I worked across. The frog came to visit me, because what I did was I forgot to put the outline on this side of the door. And I started doing the fill-in of the red. And I said, gee, something doesn't look right. And then I realized what I did, so I had to frog out all that section of the red in the house. Now this is called for Lancaster red, but mine is a little bit darker than the one shown here, which is fine. And I am planning to stitch everything on the pattern for this one. So that's how far I got. Oh, this is done on a 28 count Picture This Plus Legacy. So I should be able to have some fabric left over on this to do some smalls, some Christmas smalls for next year. This is Heartstring Samplery. Baby, It's Cold Outside. And this is lent to me by my friend Kathy to Dye House. And I stitched on it. And then we have, I had mentioned in a prior video that my group, we play bingo on Saturday evenings when we do a Zoom meeting. And a person does a random number generator for bingo. And then if it falls on your number card, you have to, like, we filled out something like this, basically. We wrote down what we were going to stitch on it. And if you can tell, like, these here, I had to cut new pieces out and glue them on because I finished the piece under them. So this past Saturday they called I-30, which is this one down here, and it was originally, this is funny, it was originally spring delivery, and then I put another piece of paper on here and it was early Americans, and then I finished that one, and now it was Baby, It's Cold Outside. So I had to put an additional 200 stitches. So after I stitched on this month, I was able to pick it up and do some more stitching, which I was thrilled at because I'm looking forward to finishing this. I love this piece. And so my 2 extra 100 stitches was these 3 trees. Each one of them was over 80-something stitches. So anyway, since we last been together, I did the words up here, brought down the border. I think that border was done. I think that's what I did since last time we were together. I think the house was done. So I think it was the words and the border had to be brought across and down. So then the next time I just have the bottom words and border. Oh, and some snowflakes and the chimneys. I forgot the chimneys on the house. So I have some, I don't know, maybe I can finish it in a 2-day rotation. It has to be a good 2 days, like Saturday and Sunday type of thing, where we're not doing anything, we're not entertaining, we're not going anywhere, and I have some afternoon time to stitch. Those are the best days, when you get a little bit extra time to stitch. Okay, just 2 more. And the next one I picked up was, I call this Christmas Quaker, but it's actually Holiday Quaker by Lila Studios. And let's see, I came to the bottom corner border. This is done on a 28 count Lugana that when I did it, needle workers just asked me if I wanted a grayish or a bluish tone to it, and I chose the blue. I think I did. It looks bluish. So I don't know the name of it, the actual fabric for it. He just dyed it as the Christmas Quaker. Let's see, where am I? This side. Okay. So I stitched on this corner. I got this all done from here to here in that 2-day rotation. And after I stitched it, I found a note that I wrote to myself that I says I should stitch the snowman, because this motif, this is some of the craziness that gets me in working on large projects, when you have the motif over like 3 or 4 pages, because it's like a corner of every page. So it told me that I should do this motif here with the 3 snowmen, because then I have to do Santa's sleigh and reindeer, and you always hope you count right. So you hope that there's enough room. Oops, everything's sliding off my lap. You hope there's enough room for the sleigh and reindeer that you counted correctly. So that would be from here up this way. So if I have that, I could always like maybe move a reindeer over a stitch or so, but if something is symmetrical, it's hard to fudge that. So I have that, the sleigh and reindeer, this motif, and then some houses to continue down there. And this is Lila Studio Holiday Quaker. And I'll show it to you. Aren't the colors really pretty? Oh, I just love it. Really, really pretty. I love this. And I enjoy working on this. So this is something that I'll probably stitch on through February and hope for a finish for next Christmas. I make photocopies of the patterns a lot, and then when it is on different pages, I kind of try to slice them up and tape them together so I can make sense of them. Now, I'm stitching on Stony Creek's Autumn in the Village, and I wish there was a really closer picture of them. I mean, I saw it at the store. I should have taken a photograph maybe of it, since I wanted to stitch it, but this is a lot of confetti, and I've come to the realization that I like stitching blocks of color. I stitch confetti because it calls for it, but I don't enjoy it as much. And I'm actually recharted something in the needle workshop. There's a bench in front of the store with looks like a scarecrow sitting on the bench, and I don't like him. So I'm going to try, and there's a window that goes here. I'm going to try and stitch the window with the bench, but not with a scarecrow on it. And I don't know if you'll even see it in this picture. I'll try and hold it still so you could, yeah, it's hard to see. But, so I'm going to do a symmetrical window and try to figure out the colors of that will coincide with all the other colors of the house, and yet I have to go up on the roof yet. So that's how this whole section is what I worked on up to yesterday. Last night I was just so tired. We had a Zoom, and my tablet died because I didn't plug it in properly, and I just, afterwards, there was no way I was going to even stitch or do anything. I was so tired. My eyes were like closing on me. But I'd like to see that completed by next year. And that's all my whips. I have just more whips to get through to the end of the month, and then December I get to start my new starts. Hopefully I'll be able to meet with you again at the end of November, and it'll be a short video just like this one, just to bring you up to speed on the rest of my stitching for November. And then when I start my December stitching, I'll go over that with you mid-December. So I won't see you until after Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody who celebrates Thanksgiving has a peaceful, joyful, distance, if necessary, safe Thanksgiving. Be thankful for all the blessings that are in our lives. I know I am. Even the little things that happen every single day, I consider it a blessing. The fact that I open my eyes and get up in the morning, that's a blessing to me. And I'm so thankful for all my viewers who watch me and leave comments, and it means the world to me. So thank you so much. So until next time, happy stitching, be safe,